Hello everyone, welcome back to Sylving. Look at the new title screen, isn't it cutie pie? Look at us, look at Agnar, look at that guy I don't like. Still don't like that guy. Mikkel. If that even is your real name. Okay, so context, last episode, we figured out we were stuck here. Because whatever we used to cross over can't get us back. And we flipped out at the fox because he sucks. Because he was very not empathetic or sympathetic towards our situation. And we got upset. And Agnar, pointed his low sword at us. And afterward, he was like, sorry, girly. And we said, that's literally chill. And we had a mow. We had a little cute little mow with our little fifis. And it was really cutie pie. So I guess it's morning. Oh, and now we live with them. So that's cool. Alright, ready? It was tough getting up the following day. The sun covered half the bed, but I stayed curled up in the shadow near the edge. I'm so silly. I was just playing Persona, so I have my controller. This is not compatible with this game. Goofy. Put that on the floor. Anyways. Mikkel and Agnar told me to stay inside, to trust them to figure out what to do with me. So all I've done these past couple days is mope around in the house and avoid the windows. Not that I have anywhere to go aside from that cave. And what would I do there? Sleep? I doubt it would be as comfortable as this bed and a roof over my head. I spent the last day and a half in the bedroom, all by myself, sorting out my feelings and being stranded here for who knows how long. Agnar's been bringing my meals up to me. I really appreciate him attending to me while I sort out my thoughts. He's also brought me fresh twigs and ground spices. I was confused at first, but he said it was for keeping my teeth clean. Never thought I'd be chewing on sticks to clean my teeth, like a dog. I guess actual four-legged lions do that too. The spices were an odd touch, though. He brought me enough to last a few days, but I ended up using them all because I kept biting too hard. Controlling the strength of my bites is difficult with how powerful my jaw is now. It felt odd, especially on account of my new pointer teeth, but at least it was something to do, and helped freshen up my mouth. The flavor of the spice was close to how toothpaste is, so like mint, but with a tingling aftertaste. And not the fresh and minty sort of taste. Oh, let me go sit down. Let me shut up. More of a salt water mixed with pepper and mint. Ha, so it still is mint, nerd. Today, the first thing I feel when I wake are the abundant of feathers. Feathers? Are the abundant feathers of the thick pillow my face has been sunken into. Oh, cool. I don't know why I feel so groggy after an entire day of lounging around and doing nothing, but I guess I'm just emotionally exhausted and also depressed. That's called depression. What happened back in the cave still bothers me. What is going on with me? Did some sort of magic come out of me when I was upset back then? No matter how many times I think about it, I'm still clueless as to what it really was. It was kind of scary when I felt that pressure throughout my body, but I'm too curious to ignore it. I've tested a few different things, carefully, just to see if I could make it happen again. I tried imagining small white sparks coming through my fingertips, like in a movie I saw once. Was it Static Shock? I'm sorry. I don't remember what movie it was, but it's the closest thing I can imagine to what might work for whatever's in me. I throw my arms towards the ceiling in a dramatic fashion, like I'm a wizard casting a spell before chanting the magic words. Abracadabra! Yeah, I knew it wouldn't work. It was worth a shot, though. I've been waving my arms around and shadow boxing some made-up martial arts to get my blood pumping, but nothing so far. I'm glad I didn't catch anything on fire, but I still want to know what that lightning show was about. Don't really want to be the first human-turned lion to explode in bed. I've tried channeling the emotions I had back then, enraged, despondent, inconsolable, but I held back when doing so, since I didn't want to lash out at full power. Hell yeah. Maybe that's why I had no luck at bringing it out. For now, being in full rage mode is the only clue I've got on how to activate it. I can't say for certain since I can't get as angry as back then. It's probably best that I avoid that feeling while in town, in case I lose control again. The sunlight moves across the bed, leaving no place for me to avoid it any longer. I could close the shutters or force myself out of the bed. I choose the third option and pull the blanket over my head. Okay, rhyming. Period. Darn it, it's too hot to stay under the blanket. I'm still tired, but I'm too warm to get comfortable in bed. I squint my eyes, peeking out of the shutter under the blanket, looking back at the bright light coming out from the window. You win this round, son. I pull the blanket off and lay quietly for a while, listening to the muffled sounds of the crowd beneath the window. This town must be pretty big if the market gets this noisy this early. I grab my phone from the chest and turn it on, checking the time. 11:03. It's almost noon already. It must be the middle of rush hour for them. At least I think so. I don't really know what local time is here. My phone could be off. Heck, the length of their entire day could be different. There's 19% left on the battery, if I didn't carry a charger with me. And I didn't carry a charger with me. Not like there's outlets for a charger anyways. I'd be fretting over it dying soon if it wasn't for the fact that it's pretty much useless in this world. Got no signal, no internet, and no chance I could reach anyone. I know with it anyways. It's not even useful as a clock, since I don't know if it's out of sync with the local time zone or not. Still, I want to save what little battery is left, just in case. I switch my phone back off, but hold on to it. Since I've got nothing to keep myself busy with, no browsing or chatting online, I don't know what to do today. I can just lay here and wait, I guess. Man, get up and do something. I think I'm gonna go insane. I pull myself up and out of bed, wrapped in the red blanket. My feet land on a pile of discarded clothes I left on the floor yesterday. I've been using the same clothes for a few days now, so I'd rather not wear them when it's just me in the room. Standing up, hunched over, I trudge over to the table. There's relief in my joints from finally being stretched out again. I didn't realize how stiff I'd gotten from laying in the bed for so long. Yo, facts, that really gets to you. Sitting back down on the stool, I put my phone down on the vanity and stare in the mirror. You look so tired. Tired, meow meow. Well, I look terrible. Droopy eyes, messy hair, and the most miserable frown I think my face can manage. I don't think I've ever seen a lion look this drained. But after all I've been through, there's not much wonder. And doing nothing but staying in a single room for days makes me feel more exhausted by the minute. God, I wish I had some coffee right now. My brain can hardly function. I'm just so tired. Meow meow yawn. Meow meow yawn. Meow meow yawn. Whoa! Seeing my mouth open so wide in my own reflection scared me. Do it again. I know my face has changed, but I still get surprised by these things. My teeth were so sharp, I thought I was going to get mauled by a wild animal for a second. I mean, I am half animal now, but it's still hard to believe this is me. It's so cute. Look at how they animated it. Everyone admired. It's so cute. Sorry, I'm focused. This is really... wow. The tongue is so long now, hanging much farther out of my mouth than before. I'm surprised I didn't notice it earlier. My teeth become dirk-like fangs, with smaller pointed incisors between them. No wonder I could break that bread rock. With teeth like these, I could probably crush bone. And the size of my mouth is incredible. I could fit a whole fist in there easily. Do it, coward. You won't. I'm playing. It's also animalistic. Who is it? Good morning, Kay. Hey! I close my mouth and turn around, waving my hand to greet him. Hi, Agnar. I heard movements from downstairs, so I had assumed you'd awoken. How do you feel? I'm good, I guess. Just a little tired. I mean, I still do look like crap and I'm jumping at my own reflection, but physically I'm alright. You should probably eat, if you have the appetite for it. I figured you might want something different today. It's downstairs when you're ready. But before that, I need to talk with you. Since we're forging you a new identity, it's best we ease you into it right away. Lord McKell and I put together a plan for you. Man, why you gotta include that fool in a plan? He couldn't plan ahead if it hit him in the face. Are you awake enough to hear it? Right, he mentioned something like that the other day. I need to wake myself up a little more so I can stay focused. I smush half my face onto my palm, rubbing the soft beans against the fur. I want your beans. I want it so bad. Little toe beans? Rah. That's so cutie pie. If I woke up with little beans, I'd be like, little beans. Yeah, I'm awake. What's the plan? We'll be focusing on your clothes and background today, and gradually introducing you to the locals. We'll need to prioritize making you blend in so they don't get the wrong idea about you. As I'm sure you noticed, your garments are quite different from ours. I've been tasked with replacing them with something more local, so I'll be taking your measurements. Lord Mikkel will provide the coin to purchase the clothes, as well as the food and other items you might need. But I shall be acquiring those things in his stead. I'll also be carrying the coin purse now that I'm your guard. No offense, but I don't want you to risk it getting stolen. Now that he mentions it, I haven't seen much of Mikkel's pointy nose since that mishap at the cave. Where is Mikkel, anyway? I didn't see him yesterday. He's back at home doing paperwork for the upcoming hunt. His family oversees the preparations for the event every year, and it's quite the task. He came last night while you were sleeping and told me that work piled up in his absence. Usually, they cater to the people attending, present awards, and make sure that it's safe to hunt in the woods. But this year, they've hired more security than is really needed, and there's been an unusual amount of time spent preparing. His older brother should be the one taking care of it, as he's the head of the family, but instead it falls to Lord Mikkel. What about their parents? They're currently traveling overseas and will be absent this year. As a result of all this, the workload is far greater this year than ever before. I think they have something in particular planned this year. Lord Mikkel told me he couldn't go into detail about it, as it's meant to be a secret. Since the tradition has been upheld every year, he's working hard to fulfill his duties early, so that he has more time to spare to assist you. I know you must be thinking him unreliable, but he always gets the job done when he puts his mind to it. I'll expect he'll visit again sometime tonight. The wolf presents a measuring tape made of fabric. Okay, question. Just a hypothetical question. In this world, is it like Zootopia, where, like, if you're not wearing clothes, you're not wearing clothes? Or is it like you're just, you're an animal? You know what I mean? That's my question, because currently we're just wearing a blanket, so... Anyways, the wolf, that he's been holding in his hand the whole time. It looks kind of worn out. He gives an encouraging smile before noticing my clothes spread out on the floor. Are you already undressed beneath the blanket? My clothes are starting to reek. My nose couldn't take it anymore. I was hoping to wash them at least, even if I won't be wearing them again anytime soon. I see. Then I'll get straight to measuring you so you can take off the blanket now. Wait, right now? Is there a problem? I'm not wearing anything right now. The wolf gives me a confused look. Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm naked? I don't understand. That's when you normally take someone's measurements. Having the clothes off just makes it difficult to get an accurate read. Is there something you don't want others to see? I wince. I wasn't expecting we'd be doing this with nothing on. I just don't want to be measured naked. I'd like to cover myself first. Agnar tilts his head in a canine-like fashion. It's like he's never met someone who is modest around strangers, or at all. Then he nods, not questioning it further. I mean, bro's got his whole everything on display, you know what I mean? Like, bro's just wearing pants. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not shocked that he's like, modesty? I mean, and again, like, it's not the same. I think humans have a much more specific type of modesty than you would see in, like, the animal kingdom anywhere else. Like, I just don't... It's like seriously. I think it's just an issue in Zootopia, honestly, because I think it's like a Disney movie, too. So, I don't know. Because we're putting our societal expectations on, like, a fairy tale. Anyways. I understand. Then I'll be outside when you're ready. Once he's out, I let the blanket fall off my shoulders and toss it back to the bed. I glance at my underwear laying on the floor, the sole pair that I've been wearing for the past few days. No. Instead, I just grabbed my pants, figured they smelled the least after all. After all, they are jeans, and they're all I need to cover the more intimate parts. I give them a hard thrust to lodge them in place, and then let out a weak grunt as they stop at my hips. The tail's in the way. The base isn't quite above where the belt line ought to be, forcing my pants to sag lower than my liking. Jeez, I keep forgetting I have this tail now. Just a whole new limb sticking out of my butt. When I try to release the waistband, my fingers get stuck. My claws are literally hooked into the fabric and won't come out. With a few shakes, I manage to pull them away, and predictably, they tear. It's not as bad as the Swiss cheese that my shirt that is my shirt collar. Hey, it was not that bad. From what I saw, it was okay. From when I ripped it the other day, but I probably shouldn't let these claws stay as they are if this keeps happening. I'll have to ask Agnar if he can help me trim them, or if there's some sort of trick to avoid tearing even more clothes. I try to make the best of it, and simply fasten the zipper and button. However, there's still a small gap beneath the tail. Hopefully I'm not so exposed that he can see. See, this is all I'm wearing. I don't even know if I have underwear, my guy. I really don't. For all you know, they don't wear that at all. Maybe I should have tossed on a shirt too, even if it smells terrible. But Agnar doesn't wear a shirt. Maybe I'll be fine without it. It's still kind of awkward for me, but I'll have to play it cool. I'm ready. You can come back now. Good. Now that you're more comfortable, it shouldn't take long for me to measure you. He presents the measuring tape once again, gesturing to the middle of the room. Would you please stand here? I do as I'm told, standing right out in front of him as he unrolls the tape. He moves closer to me. Dang, can you back up? Sorry. Instant response. My head barely reaching his chest. I'm still amazed just how tall he really is. Yeah, you want to give me an estimate? What is he, 5'5"? There's no way. He bends over slightly down to my height. I'll start at your shoulders and move down. All you have to do is spread your arms out and stand still. As he wraps the tape around me, I'm pulled towards him without much effort. It wasn't that strong of a pull, but I'm still having some balance issues. Oh my god, guys. He's trying to date us. What? I'm playing. Even when standing in one place. Stop. I'm serious. I'm locked in. You can hold on to my arms if you're having trouble holding still. This shouldn't take long. His hand hovers around my head before I feel the tape on my back. His large hands gently follow under the shape of my shoulders. I take him up on his offer and place my hand on his upper arms and by his bicep. It's an odd sensation feeling his arms. It's fine. The fur is short and thick, but it looks like the arm of any human, except bigger and hairier. He moves down to my chest, following the curve of my waist. He measures the length of my torso and the thickness of my tail. Agnar straightens up, rolling the measuring tape around one of his fingers. That should do. I'll find you clothes that are loose so you can move in them freely. I'll head to the tailor and come right back. You'll be on your own for a while again, but I'll try not to be too long. If anyone knocks, don't let them in, unless it's Lord Mikkel, of course. Your meal is downstairs in the oven. It should still be warm. I hope it'll be to your liking, Kay. Oh, he's treating us, girl. Yes. Sorry, I'm serious. I've never been more serious in my life. Agnar leaves the door to the hallway open, and I hear him leave the house. I lift my arms, stretching in place for a few seconds before letting my whole body relax, and then I take a deep breath. Since I'm getting new clothes, I might as well put my current ones in a single pile for cleaning later. I pick up everything, even my shoes and satchel, and tuck them into a corner on the floor. I didn't really have to, but I felt like I needed to put them together in one place. As I take another deep breath, my nose picks up a familiar scent that tickles in my mind. Apples, cinnamon, and something buttery. No way. Is that what I think it is? I hurry down to the kitchen, searching till I spot a small black door that I can only assume is the oven. I'm assuming it's this. Pulling the oven open, the tantalizing aroma grows much stronger. On the smooth clay surface sits a metal plate, and the treasure on top makes me feel more at home than anything else so far. It's an apple pie, and a whole one at that. It's about the width of a tea plate, small enough for one person, with a golden brown shiny crust. I fetch a fork and knife from the cupboard Agnar keeps his plates and cutlery, and I place it all on the table. The pie is lukewarm, so I'm not worried about getting burned when handling it. Thanks for explaining that to me. I had a question about it. Using the knife to cut a small piece out, I hold it up to my face on the end of the fork. It's moist inside, but it doesn't drip. I didn't know how much I missed this smell. How many years it's been? How many years has it been since I last had apple pie? I don't think I've had any since Grandma passed away, when I was still just a kid. She wasn't an amazing cook, but she was always the best at baking. She knew apple pie was my favorite, so she always prepared one for me whenever we paid a visit. Let me get this monitor closer. Words are looking a little blurry. I know I got bad vision, but whatever. How would you know? I lean forward in my seat and dig in. Warmth spreads through my body as the flaky, buttery crust breaks apart with the tiniest bit of pressure. The sweetness of the fruit with just a hint of sourness, the toffee like goo between the chunks, the cinnamon brings it all together, making for an experience that is both pleasant and comforting. It doesn't taste like how Grandma used to make, but this is still pretty damn good. Fragments of memories wander through my mind as I continue eating. How me and my sister would play hide and seek behind her flower pots, and the scoldings from Grandma when we made a mess out of her shoes. And there was that time I went through her closet and wore her clothes and her wig to dress up as her. She couldn't stop laughing in her chair, and she took pictures with her old Polaroid camera. I was pretty silly back then, but a lot of strange things I did were for her, because I like to hear her laugh. I miss her. It didn't take long before the pie is all gone. My full stomach and my lingering taste the lingering taste of cinnamon really helped to wake me up. I lean back in my chair and take a moment to relax. It really was good, but I feel like I could eat some more. Now it's you. Everyone say hi to Mikkel. Ella Mikkel. What do you want, nerd? Before I know it, Mikkel comes bursting through the door and shuts it behind him.
Ah, you're up and out of the bedroom. Splendid.
Hi, Mikkel.
Yes, good morning. I'm so sorry for the delay.
This should have been all sorted out yesterday, but I was simply swamped with work. He's full of an odd energy, but the bags under his eyes tell a different story. He looks outright exhausted. I can see him teetering on the spot. Just how much has he been working since I last saw him? I was just so behind on the paperwork, and my older brother gave me such a scolding. With so many coming, and we... With so many coming and we many through documents of before big event. Am I crazy? Is that right? With so many coming and we many through documents of before. Well, I'm just gonna pretend that makes sense. Okay. Oh God. I think that wasn't supposed to make sense. I said, "Am I nuts?" He pulls his chair out from across. See, that's a perfectly good sentence that I'm messing up. He pulls the chair across from me out a little, then practically crashes into it as he attempts to sit down. His satchel falls thoughtlessly onto the floor.
So many more are coming this year. So much to do. So much to do.
He tilts forward in his seat, struggling to keep his eyes open, and starts nodding off, before suddenly bolting upright in his seat, eyes wide in shock as he realized he was about to fall asleep.
My apologies. I dozed off for a minute there, didn't I? I finally got caught up with the pile of work yesterday, but then I had to work through the night to gather what I needed to help you create your background, so I'm afraid I didn't get much sleep.
He waves a paw somewhat dramatically in the air to make his point, nearly falling off of the chair. I'm a bit worried. He's really not all here. Are you okay? You seem a bit frazzled. Oh, can you back up, please? You're, like, in my space. Your eyes are a little spacey there.
I am fantastic!
Michael, I almost called him Michael. My bad. Mikkel slaps his hands on the table, leaning in way too much towards me with an ear-splitting grin. That's good. He's definitely not okay. I can see a twitch in his eye, like he might snap any second.
To be asked by Sylving about my well-being, what an honor. But let's move forward. I've completed your documentation.
He reaches into his satchel and withdraws a scroll. He unfurls it onto the table and presents it to me. I'm not exactly sure what to make of it, but there are a few blank spots. What's up with the empty spaces?
I wanted to go through it with you and add some of your real information. By blending the document with certain truths, it'll make it easier for you to memorize.
I see. Sounds like a good idea. So, where should we start? He reaches into his satchel and pulls out a bottle of ink and a quill. He readies himself to write while pulling the document back to the side of the table.
When is your birthday?
April 17th.
Your kind must be using different names for months. I do remember reading the word April in this strange, thin book during one of my many expeditions. It had detailed illustrations and grids with numbers inside. Who knew it was a calendar? I found back then. How fascinating. Let's see. Tell me the season you were born in.
Spring.
Then let's say it's the month of
Burke?
And your age?
I'm 25.
Ah, so you're only a year older than me.
You're a baby. Wait, you got a nanny or your family's gonna ground you? You're 24? Is that like a baby or what? Like, what are you talking about? You're so old. Well, you're not so old, but, I feel like you're old enough to not get grounded. His feathery pen flutters around as he fills in the blanks.
Do you perhaps have a mate?
A mate?
Your lover, a woman who you are to marry or are already wed to.
A woman? A woman. Come inside! Sorry. Welcome to... Sorry. A woman. Anyways.
That's really suspicious of you to just say a woman. What if I want to marry more than women?
Huh?
Idiot. You don't know me.
No, I'm still single. I'm not even been with a guy in a while. I haven't even been with a guy in a while. I hear myself talking about dating men and reaching for my mouth. It slipped out before I could think it through. I'm worried about what their concept of gay people in this world might be like. But Mikhail doesn't even flinch. He keeps his nose to the paper as he scribbles away. Maybe he didn't hear me say that?
And done.
He blows over the fresh ink, picking up the paper and scrutinizing his penmanship before offering it to me.
You need to let the ink dry first, but this will serve as your official safe conduct. With this, you should have no trouble if anyone asks you about your background or if they need your identification. I'll be making you a copy to register you within our record as well.
I did thorough research and have decided it's the best choice. Oh no, here comes more things I don't know if I'll be able to say. Best choice for you is to be from
Schallenhof. It's a beautiful place that borders the sea with mountains and great vistas. It is in the far northeast, and the village is small. It's distant enough that it won't be suspicious that you don't know our customs fully. I found a lion couple that moved there decades ago. People rarely travel there, and little is known about them, which is perfect for us. Almost a shame there isn't much cultivation there, which is why so few live in Schallenhof, but that'll help you pretend to be their child, after all.
He lets out a big yawn, and he hands over the paper to me. Is there anything you'd like to add? Oh, jeez. Man, I thought this paper was going to be bigger. So this is my fake ID. Just a piece of paper with some text and a stamp to the right. This is documentation that states the identity of the line who carries the last name Sonar, hello? Sonor is verified by his family. Born in Schallenhof in the far northeast of Naffert. His parents Anna and Barnsonder. Bornberg. Male occupation. Yeah, I want to see where it says mate, girl. Show me that part, nerd. There's not much written on it. I guess their registration system's pretty simple. Oh, unwed is all it says. Okay, T. I can only trust him that this is enough. But I know nothing about this Schallenhof and what it's like. I should probably be prepared if someone asks me what it is like. Could you tell me more about... Bro died. Look at him down there. That's so funny. W making a whole nother panel where bro's passed out. Mikhail passed out hard and crashed onto the table, snoring loudly. He must have really struggled to stay awake until now. Can't imagine how much trouble he'd be in if he was caught right now for forging documents. I'm not sure how bad it is to use a family stamp to fake an ID, but it's got to be serious as impersonation or for forging a signature. Despite the risk, he's still doing it for my sake, which is his fault, so I'm not giving him that much credit. With how much he's trying to make up for his mistakes, I should be a little nicer to him from now on. Not me. I'm bitter forever. This kid sucks. Yeah, you're gonna have to prove that you're worth my attention. Yeah. I know that's what he's doing, but still. I look at the document again. I'll need to memorize the basics before I go outside again. My name is Kay Sondre. My parents are now... See, I'm just gonna say that, Bjorn. How do you say that? Bjorn and Anna. It's not Bjorn. Imagine if it was. How do you say that? Bjorn? Let me see. Yeah. Pronunciation. Oops, sorry, girl. Bjorn? Bjorn and Anna Sondre. Me reading it like it's French. I'm a traveler from Schellenhof. I feel bad using someone else's last name, but it's only temporary. I don't plan on doing anything while I'm here, so I hope they don't mind me borrowing it. The small seal has pinned a strip of fabric to the document, and there's some sort of symbol on the wax. That must be Mikkel's family symbol. It's the only thing that makes this scroll look legit. True. Hi. I hear the door open behind me, and when I look up, I see Agnar walking through with a package in his hand. I wave at him to get his attention, and then point to Mikkel while holding a finger to my lips. Mikkel, sorry. I'm gonna keep calling him Mikkel. That is my bad. The wolf gives me a curious look, and then notices the state of the unconscious fox. He gives a knowing smirk and then shakes his head. He quietly shuts the door and turns back to me, pointing to the stairs. I nod, and we both make our way up to the bedroom. Yeah, we do. What? I'm joking. Sorry, I'm professional. I would never make those jokes. Once inside, Agnar closes the door gently. Guess he didn't get much sleep again. He was a bit out of it before he kissed the table. It really looked like he needed the sleep. That's not uncommon for him. I've seen him lock himself away in his study with his new trinkets he'd picked up from your world. He would always get carried away trying to figure them out. Even when I would come for a trip to the cave, he would be half awake. Does he do that often? More often than you would think, trust me. Did the two of you talk about your new background? Yeah, we went through the registration paper he put together. Got it right here. Good. Then we're already making progress. May I have a look? Sure, here you go. I hand it over to him. Whoa. I hand over the paper to him, and he exchanges it for the limp-looking parcel wrapped in fabric and twine. They had these in stock, and they were... And were the closest to your measurements. Oh, I thought we were making stuff for me. I thought we were rich or whatever. I thought I was going to be fine dining. I thought I was going to be Victorian Miss Man. Dang, that's crazy. Aw, he's so sweetie pie. Like, for real, though. I know I've been like hee-hee-ha-ha the whole time, but he's like really sweetie pie. I do like him. Yeah, if this game gives me the chance, they're going to kiss. What? Who said that? Guys, be professional. Guys. Be respectful. He's been nothing but respectful to us. You can't talk about kissing him all the time. Or can we? I'm playing. I requested a finer material for you, so hopefully they should be more comfortable. They may be simple, but it'll help to have a less eye-catching clothes from now on. And more importantly, clean ones. Thank you. I can't wait to try them on. I'll give you your privacy again. While you're doing that, I'll be reading over your conduct and memorizing it. Does it have fruity at the bottom? Maybe you should scan that. Sorry, I just said we were going to be professional. I immediately went back on it. What? Who said that? I looked down at the parcel and noticed that my claws are already threatening to pierce clean through the garments within. Wait, could you help me with something first? Of course. What can I do for you? Carefully putting the wrap bundle with my new clothes on the bed, I hold up my hands and show Agnar the new weapons that stuck to my fingers. I need to clip these claws. Oh, that's... His throat rumbles as he clears his throat. I must apologize. Hearing a lion request that sort of thing caught me off guard. Claws are quite valuable to the feline races. They usually take great pride in their appearance and care. Why do you want to cut them? They keep getting stuck in my clothes and tearing holes in them, and I don't want to ruin the new ones. It's easier to just trim them down. Don't Sylvings have claws? We don't exactly have claws. We call them nails, and they're mostly flat and not sharp at all. Some people do keep them long, but they never get stuck to clothes like claws do. Lies! When I have a little piece of my nail sticking up, and it snags on everything, and it pisses me right off. They crack pretty easily, too, because they're so thin, so most of us prefer to keep them short. That sounds terrifying. I can't imagine someone having claws like that. I can see why you have trouble getting used to your new claws with such inexperience. Oh my god, he wants to hold our hand. Guys! I'm playing. No, I'm not. Agnar steps close, looking a bit curious, and offers a hand. Yeah, he does. May I see them? Look all you want, baby girl. He just wants to hold her hand, guys. He literally wants to kiss us or whatever. I know what he wants. I hold out a hand, and he takes very delicate hold of it. He studies the back of it intently before flipping it over and inspecting the pad. He thumbs at the dull backside of one of my claws. Have you ever tried retracting them? I didn't know I could. I'm still figuring out this body. Could you try for me? I'll try anything for you, Pookie. What? I'm playing. I'm joking. Or am I? I'm kidding. I sort of feel around inside my hand, squeezing the digits of one of my hand in the other, looking for new things to move. I stretch and flex my fingers, trying to find or trigger any mechanism to deactivate my claws. But I just end up wiggling my fingers around a little bit while Agnar analyzes them. He leans in a bit closer, inspecting my hands with a firm hold. His hand practically engulfs mine, being twice the... I don't think wolves are that big. I think we're being dramatic right now. Being twice the size, his dark pads contrasting my pink ones. Oh my god, we're so cutie pie. His grips move down a couple of my fingers, giving a squeeze at each knuckle before reaching my palm. His pads are firm and rough on the outside, but I can feel the warmth from them when he presses them to the middle of my hand. Agnar lets my hand slip from his, breathing out in resignation. If you can't retract them, then I suppose it can't be helped. Let's cut them down a little since it's the best solution, at least until you're used to them. Someone would see that... well, someone would see doing this as a kind of shame, though. Your claws are in pristine condition. Not if they're in the way. It would be more of a shame if I tore apart my new clothes on the first day. That's true. Besides, who would I even impress? It's not like I know anyone here besides you and Mikkel. I'll have safe claws over pretty ones any day. You'll meet others soon, but I see your point. Just don't mention your claws to Lord Mikkel. He'll probably bombard you with questions about why you can't control them, and will test your paws for hours. Agnar moves to the vanities, searching through the drawers one after the other. There should be a clipper in here somewhere. While waiting for him, I feel around inside my hand again, seeing if I can retract my claws at all, flexing my fingers open and closed. Open, closed. Nope, still poking out. Here we go. He pulls out a pair of scissors with an inward curved blade, and then places something small and rectangular on the table. An old friend had scissors like these for their dog, but these are bigger, and the handles are a different shape. There's a hole for the finger on one handle, and the other is bent out at the end. It's decorated with a floral pattern on the side, reminiscent of waves within the smaller space it occupies. You'd better take a seat. He gestures to the stool, and I take a seat on it. How do you usually trim your nails? How do you usually cut them? I don't think it's going to be anything like this experience. So I would say just use your best discretion, buddy. There's more than one way of doing it. I thought you just simply cut halfway and then you finish them off. Usually till it reaches down the tip of my fingers. We just have to be careful not to cut too far down when we do. What? I cannot do that to you. Cutting them down to the paw is a form of torture. Does it really sound that bad? I knew he'd think it was unusual, but not to that extent. I mean, yeah, because if you don't have like a pet of any kind, when you're clipping their claws, they have like little thingy bits in them where if you clip them, you'll clip like nerve endings and squishy stuff and it'll hurt them. So you can't clip like claws that are sticking out all the way down to their finger because you will hurt them. Like that's just how it'll be. So it's not gonna be like our fingers at all whatsoever. Because I clip my cat's claws all the time because she stinks. Because she's stinky or whatever. Yeah, she over there stinking it up. I guess it's the same as if someone were to cut the nail all the way to the base. I'd be squeamish too if I had to cut them that far down. How would you normally do it to yours, Agnar? Us wolves like to make them sturdy when we shorten them. We don't use our claws to fight, and we're not built for more delicate work, so we keep them blunt and rounded. This keeps them from getting stuck on things, but still long enough to help with gripping. That sounds good to me. I can't let these dangerous weapons hurt any more innocent clothes, and by my own hands, no less. Then let's go with that. Give me the claws of a wolf. He smirks, holding back a chuckle with a weak grunt. We get a new picture. This is cute. He goes to one knee on the floor in front of me. This is so extra. His face not composed as he lifts his hands. I think he's trying to romance us, guys. Like, at first I was like... Now I'm like, okay. You have me sitting on a stool like a pretty princess while you clip my claws is crazy. He's trying to kiss. This is him romancing us, for sure. Putting my hand in his, he holds my fingers quite securely so they can't move. He places the clippers... Oh, wait, I wanted to see... Oh, look. I wanted to see how that would work. I was like, what are you talking about? Like a ladle? Yeah, like a ladle. He places the clippers up close to my index finger before pulling them back and looks at me. Watch carefully to what I'm doing so you can manage it yourself next time. You might need to shorten them while I'm not here. I sit up straighter as he lowers my hand, holding it at an angle so both of us can see. Resting the blade on my index claw, he snaps at an angle on either side of it, and then cuts straight across, leaving a clean edge. I thought it wouldn't feel any different from normal, but I could feel it in my bones whenever the scissors snapped. Not that it hurts, I could simply feel the tension and vibration when it cuts. His movements are careful and controlled, moving from one claw to the next, down the line. Agnar nods approvingly, and until he's done, the only sound in the room is him working. He then turns my hand to the side, carefully taking hold of the knuckle. Thumb claws are a little bit difficult to cut. They're usually sturdier and wider than the others, so be careful when you... do this the first few times. That's interesting to know. That's probably... Dude, I don't know if you've ever clipped, like, the thumb of, like a cat. Oh my god, it's, like, awful to try to do. Just because my cat, once she gets to the thumb, she's, like, real sick and tired of being here. I should probably do them first. Like, I do the first thumb, and she's like, hell yeah, I'm chilling. I'm on second paw, she's like, dog, I thought we were doing one paw. I get to the second thumb, she's like, let me go, fiend. I want to be free from this criminal, placement. You stink, and I don't like you. I'll try to remember that. My nose twitches as it catches something in the air. I didn't notice it before, but there's a scent coming from him. Pine and mint. There's something earthy that I can't quite place. It reminds me of a cold morning in the forest, filled with pine trees. It suits the masculine image of this big wolf. Being this close, though, I get a better look at him while he's focusing intensely on my claws. Nerd! Sorry. I can see his brow wrinkle subtly before every clip, his yellow eyes being fully focused on the hand. The lighter portions of his fur look so clean and well-kempt, and the darker fur serving to outline his facial features. His fur is thicker and longer around his neck, tufts stylishly sticking out here and there. His shoulders are broad, and his arms are thick and defined, as his chest is wide and illuminated by the light fur, a distinct patch of darker fur running across it. Look at this here, Kay. He shows me the hand he's just finished with, claws all trimmed. I was so distracted from examining his appearance, I didn't even notice he had switched to my other hand, let alone that he had finished it. I noticed that he switched.
My eyes are always open.
What's most important is that you don't cut them too short. It's not very easy to see, but inside your claw there's something called the quick. The quick? You do not want to cut that. It will sting quite painfully if you do, and it starts about here. For comparison, he puts his own claw next to mine, and I can see the differences in hues inside the claw he's pointing at. See the weak color appearing? Don't cut any further than that. Got it? Don't cut past the color part. Got it. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. You don't do that with your pets either, because it'll hurt them too. He puts the scissors on the dresser and grabs the rectangular object and presents it to me. It looks like a light brown sponge, but dried up. Now, use this for the area we cut, and you're set. What is it? It's a pumice stone. Yo! I have that. It's a rock that is hewn from a dead volcano. What? Really? And they can be used to smooth out your claws after a trim. Most people use sandstone, but this one's better for you to use. I'm sure Lord Mikkel won't mind using it, since you'll be the one using it. He demonstrates the filing process on one of his own claws, in a small yet swift motions. You can slide it across and away, but never torch yourself. It'll only damage them if you do. Here, try it. He offers a stone, which is practically weightless in my palm. I never thought a volcanic rock would be used as a nail file. But you can use it to clean your household appliances. Sorry. And your little toesies and your feet or whatever. I can't really tell if there's a difference between it and that bread, honestly. Have you never? Girl, we got pumice stones in our world. Quit playing. Where have you been, Mr. Smartphone Boy? Like, you never looked up a pumice stone? You know what that is? You don't take care of your feet? Huh? Your little human feet crusty? I know they're crusting up. I know your feet rough and crusty, calloused up like crazy. Girl, you're lucky you got them little toe beans now. Because you know what? I bet you needed every single little petty on the planet to get those feet back to looking good. Quit playing. Sure, looks easy enough. Holding the stone over my thumb claw, I slowly slide it across the way he showed me. Ugh. The feeling of gratitude, I feel nasty right now, I had is instantly replaced with dread. It's like I'm scratching a chalkboard. The tingling sensation sends a shiver all the way down my spine and to the tip of my tail, poofing out the fur. The wolf gives me an understanding but encouraging look. That's the usual reaction from first-timers. It'll take some getting used to. I was afraid he'd say that. I power through the discomfort, rounding the mountain until Agnar tells me I can stop to move on to the next. There's a moment when I think to myself how absurd this all is. I'm in a whole new world, and I'm getting my nails done. This unpleasant feeling lessens as I'm nearly done filing them, but the tail is no less poofy. I hope I can get used to it sooner rather than later. Good. You won't need to do that again for a while. I examine my claws, now being all nice and dull. The new clothes are at last safe from being shredded. You seem experienced cutting others' claws. Have you done this before? I helped those who didn't know how to maintain their claws. It was required that they learn to do it so that it wouldn't hinder their training. But that was a long time ago. That took an unexpected turn. Not to hinder their training? He stays quiet for a moment, not going into further detail. Anything else I can help you with before you get dressed? No, that was it. Thank you for helping me trim them. Then I'll be right outside the door. He didn't say it, but I could tell he didn't like thinking about the past. It must have hit a sore spot. I better not bring it up again. All right, let's try to stay positive and focus on the here and now. Now that the murder mittens are declawed, it's time to finally see what I've got. Unbuttoning my pants, I pull them down and let myself be fully naked. As a cat. Yeah, save. I want to see this. Hold on. Did it actually save? Hello? I kind of want to a quick save. Okay. Oh, Lord. She's saving. Oh, Lord. She's saving. You're... I'm breaking the game. Okay. I'm gonna look to make sure it's safe. If it's safe, I'll just turn it back on. If it's not, I'll let you know. You don't get to see that. There was full ween, so you don't get to see ween. Basically, he was like,
He's like, wow, I'm so orange and a lion. Except for my ween. That's very human. But I guess I'm a lion man, so I guess that makes sense. That was the whole thing. So I could have blacked out the screen and read it to you, but it's too late now. It's too late now. It's already started. Well, for the sake of the writing, I'll be nice. Okay. I think you can just hear me. So I'm just going to read the dialogue. I'm not going to show it. Now that I think of it, I haven't seen myself fully without clothes in the mirror yet. Now I've looked down at myself since waking up here. But I'm curious to get a better look at my whole body. I turn to face the mirror. Running my fingers through the thick white hair, I can't help but marvel at my reflection, and his hair at the top of his head is white. I still have a humanoid body, so I should be glad that the changes didn't go any further than that. I let my hand slide down to touch my chest, feeling the softness of the fur covering my body. Most of the fur is light orange with white tufts breaking through the middle. The orange color isn't as bad as I thought it would be. I don't look half bad. Still weird, but it's kind of cool. Thankfully, my ween seems unchanged without any unwanted differences. It's kind of funny. It's the most natural thing about me now. Or natural as it can get, being a lion man and all that. Okay, and that is the end of that. Bring that back. I unwrapped the parcel on the bed, having a gander at the new clothes Agnar bought for me. They're all brown or white and folded neatly. I wonder how it'll look on me. I pick up the first piece of clothing, being the white underwear. Yo, they do wear underwear, what's up? Unlike modern boxers, this one isn't very stretchy, soft but rigid in shape. It uses a drawstring instead of an elastic band, and there's a hole the size of my thumb at the back of it. I slip my legs into them and pull them on. There's some trouble threading the tail through the third hole, but I manage after some maneuvering. Yeah, because isn't like the bottom of the tail bigger than the rest of it? Like the base of a lion tail is like poofier. Maybe you can pull through it and that's fine. Maybe it's just like a cat's tail where it's a point at the end. I'm just crazy. Next is the shirt, being a light gray color. Holding it up, it looks a size or two too big for me. Its arms are long, but the shoulders are narrow, and there's a triangular opening with a string through it. Not exactly what I expected, but I decided to just roll with it and slip it on. I thread my arms through the open sleeves till my hands pop out at the end, and then I pull my head through the neck hole before sliding the rest into place. I sweep my hair back with my fingers and then give it a quick toss so it doesn't look matted. Next is the sole pair of pants, brown in color just like the rest. It's outside. Ooh, the kind of clothes I'm used to. The seams go down the front of the legs rather than along the sides. There's a triangular cut in the back with a buttonable strap above it. This one is made of tougher material, not far from denim. I put them on one leg at a time and pull it up. Besides my feet, I didn't get stuck. Oh, I'm surprised my feet didn't get stuck as I pushed them through. It must be because the pants in this world are designed with fat feet in mind. Bruh, he's hating on fat feet. The tail thankfully slides into place with ease. However, getting the button through the loop to secure it in place is troublesome. It takes several attempts, but I manage it eventually. As a belt was also provided, I thread it through the loops of the pants and fasten the buckle. It doesn't cover the hole around the tail, but what else can you do? With the pants on, I try stretching my legs in a different direction to see how it feels. It all fits surprisingly well, with the pants not being as restrictive as I was expecting. We're a little dapper guy. Look at us, we're so cute. Oh my gosh, we're so cutie pie. Rah! Now that I've seen the full ensemble, it doesn't look half bad. I had my doubts about the pants, but altogether, it's it suits a setting like this. Yeah, it's really cute. Wah. I'm feeling much more confident about my situation now with these new duds. Really makes me look like I'm part of this place. I turn around and take a cautionary glance at my rear. I think I've put them on correctly.
Hey. When I opened the door again, Agnar stood right beside, still reading the document. He must be deep in thought if he didn't notice me open the door right next to him. How's this? Did I put them on right? Well, look at you. You seem like you were born and raised here. He rolls up with the paper and returns to the bedroom, ducking his head to spare the doorframe. How does the attire fit? Great. These clothes are really comfortable. Thank you for finding them for me, Agnar. I'm glad they're to your liking. The tailor made sure to provide something to suit a male line of your build. You'll have no issue blending in wearing this. Now that we've resolved the matter of your clothing, we should discuss a few things. I sit down in the middle of the bed, and he takes to the stool next to me, to keep us relatively level. We wanted to get your documents finished yesterday, then spend today educating you about us and our world. But with the hunt approaching, Mikkel will have less time to assist you for the next couple of weeks. So you're saying I should stay out of sight until it's over? No, the opposite, in fact. We should introduce you to the town as soon as possible. Agnar holds his chin and thinks, trying to find the right words. I don't know what it's like in your world, but in a small village like this, newcomers don't go unnoticed. Worse still, rumors of odd behavior, such as skulking about or wearing strange clothes, spread quickly. The longer you stay hidden, the more curious they'll become, and the more exotic and paranoid the rumors will get. Which is why we came up with a plan to make the interest in you pass sooner. Every year, the results of the hunt dominate the talk of the town for a long time, meaning that if we can get you to seem mundane in the public eye, then the event will overshadow any word about you. But we also need to give them enough time for their curiosity to wane. I'll be around to help you adjust to our everyday lives, and to look after you, to advise you on how to carry yourself, or lend a paw if you stumble, things like that. You don't have to worry or say much at first. I'll be the one fielding the questions while you observe and learn to mimic our way of life. Lord Mikkel will teach you about our history and current events whenever he can this week. He was supposed to give his first lecture later this evening, and even took the afternoon off for it, but he's clearly no condition to stay. You said you were my guard now, so won't you be spending a lot of time together? Sorry. I might as well just learn from you. I'm afraid not. I'm not as educated about these things as he is. I can tell you what I know, but I can't give you the depth of understanding you require. With Lord Mikkel unavailable for teaching today, I thought we could go for a walk outside and give you a tour of the village. It should help you get used to us. If you're willing, we can go down to the inn, and I'll introduce you to some close friends of mine. They're good people, and are very welcoming to newcomers, making it a great place to start meeting others. Getting outside doesn't sound bad. I've been stuck in this room for nearly 2 days now. Walking alongside them instead of acting invisible in the middle of the street could actually be a fun change. But before we go outside, you must promise me one thing. You cannot be seen using magic, no matter what. Oh, right, that burst of power coming out of me. There's still nothing within me that resembles that feeling I had in the cave. If there ever was, I'm certain I'd have picked up on it by now. Do you understand? I don't think you have to worry about that. I'm pretty sure I won't be able to make that happen again. You told me you didn't know how it happened. How can you be so sure it won't? Since I've been cooped up in here, I've been trying to recreate what happened in the cave, but thus far, nothing. That's rather reckless, Kay. You should have told me. Is there any chance that someone might have noticed you through the window? Don't worry. Like I said, nothing happened. I couldn't get anything to come out, not even a spark. Here, I'll show you. I can't. Look at his old picture. He said, I concentrate and picture the sparks in my mind, trying to make the power come out. As I clench my fist and punch the air with all my might, Agnar leaps back, knocking over the stool, his fur poofed out in fear, as if he's about to meet a sudden demise. But nothing happened. Just me doing weird hand movements like I'm trying to grab something in the air before putting them back down. I relax my arms and Agnar is trying to tame his fur back down. He's not happy, if the scowl is any indication. I guess he didn't appreciate my eagerness to prove I don't explode easily. You better not do that again, Kay. People will notice if loud noises and flashing lights were to come from outside this house. Sorry, I just wanted to know what the power is. I tried to make it really small, nothing like back then. I had no luck getting anything out. He still doesn't look happy, but his nerves are cooling off, and his shoulders slacken.
I tried everything I could think of to hold back, yet, still, I couldn't get anything to come out. Point is, it doesn't come easy. No idea why, but it's unlikely to happen again by accident. It's just a hunch, but I think I activated it when I got really, really angry and upset. And that's what makes the most sense to me, at least. So as long as you don't get furious, his power should be under control. As far as I can tell, yeah. If it really is connected to your emotional state, then you have to avoid letting your temper get the better of you. I don't know much about magic or Sylving's powers, but I'll trust that you know how to manage it. The word Sylving keeps coming up. I still haven't asked what it means exactly, but it's making me think about how this world has some history with them. It's hard to believe that I'm one myself. It makes me feel like I'm from a race of elves, regarded as higher beings due to possessing some sort of power. Did Sylvings do something terrible in the past? How will people react to me if they figure out I'm not really like them? I tug on my sleeve and look up at the wolf. Hey, Agnar? Is it really a death sentence if someone finds out I'm a Sylving? Agnar looks a little bit surprised and then apologetic. Oh, no, of course not. Probably. That doesn't sound too reassuring. I'm not quite sure what'll happen. There's been no Sylvings in these lands for centuries. The wolf scratches his head, giving it some thought on how to answer. Tell me, if I were to go to your world, would I be executed for being a wolf? I don't really know. No one's ever seen a real wolf man like you in my world before. Neither have they seen a fox man like Mikkel, or anyone from here, really. Unless I count the myth of werewolves and how they tear people apart like wild beasts in movies. The response there is, of course, to hunt them down with guns or whatever gets the job done. But it's better I keep that to myself. Agnar's case would be different, but the perception of him could range from admiration to firing on sight. There's no way everyone would be on the same page the moment they saw him. I guess it would be mixed, good and bad, mostly because nobody knows how to react. Then you understand the predictability of it. While it's not a crime for you to be a Sylving, it's been so long since one has been here, has been seen or heard, there's no telling how people would react. The knowledge of a Sylving here could cause an uproar, and the news would travel far and wide. The outcome would be chaos no matter what, so it's just not safe for people to know. Especially for Lord Mikkel's sake. As I said before, he's been doing what he's been doing is highly forbidden. Yeah, I know. And I don't even know if his family can save his neck if someone figures out he's responsible. Yikes. The most damning part being that Lord Mikkel used a witch relic. That alone would bring more harm to those involved than anything else. Please don't judge him for using it, despite it being a crime. He wanted to help people. There are those who still suffer today because of the evil witches in the past. He figured the best way to undo the harm they caused was to travel to the Sylving world in search of a solution, and the only way to do it is in secret. To avoid drawing attention, it's best we never mention witches, their relics, or the Sylving to anyone, and if someone brings them up, we should change the topic or leave. That was a lot to take in. I have so many questions about everything he just said, but I don't think I can handle much more pressure. I don't mean to scare you, but you have to be careful with your words out there, even when you're talking to those close to me. I want you to fit in and live a normal life while you're here. To do so, you have to avoid any unusual behavior that might cause problems. The weight of those words sits heavy on my shoulders. I understand how important it is that I don't talk about witches, myself, and human stuff, but that kind of secrecy hits a little close to home. I understand. I won't tell anyone, I promise. I'm glad you take this to heart. Agnar raises a scroll in his hand. I read and memorized your safe conduct. It's vague enough as far as his background goes, but people might ask what it's like in Shalanoff. Did his lordship describe what it's like to you before he fell asleep? Mikkel? Not a lot. He told me it's a place with great views and that not many people live there since it's underdeveloped, but that's about it. Well, try to learn more about it tomorrow. For now, when someone asks you a question that you don't have an answer to, turn to me. I can either answer for you or pull you from the conversation. If you're by yourself, you can make an excuse, like you're still too weary and from your fever to answer. Or you can
try to keep it vague, but whatever you do, never make unnecessary lies. Oh no, we're gonna get a choice in the future, and they're gonna be like, do you want to lie like a peasant, or would you like to lie to the public, or would you like to lie in a different way that's less trouble-inducing? And I'll be like, oh shit, we're gonna lie, and then I'll get us in trouble. So, the truth is often easy to prove, and it'll come back to bite you if you tell too many, and they fail to line up. And always remember that just because someone asks a question, it doesn't mean you have to answer. You especially shouldn't feel pressure to give a response about something personal. This is why I want you to come with me today. Learning is all well and good, but it's better that we do so from experience. We need you to adjust quickly, while we still have some excuses for any slip-ups, like your recent fever or being shy. Are you confident enough on your feet to walk with me to the inn? It's not far from here. I'm feeling butterflies in my stomach, but I don't want to stay inside another day. Even after the serious talk we just had, and the stakes we face, I finally have the nerve to show my face outside again. I'm going for a walk and meeting some of his friends. This is a good place to start. Maybe it won't be so intimidating once I get out there. Well, it's better that I take the leap and jump into it. Sure, I'm looking forward to meeting your friends, if they're all as welcoming as you are. All right, then we'll leave straight away. Remember, you're Kate Sandra now. Kay. Yo, I just said Kate. That's not even my name. Kate is crazy. I'm messing up my own name. That's embarrassing. That's so crazy. Anyways. You're a traveler, and it's your first time outside of Shalanoff. You were found ill on the road and were taken by Lord Mikkel from the Vedskogen family, and I became your personal guard. I echo Agnar's words back to him word for word. I repeated a few times to commit it to memory. Good. I think you're ready to go. I can't wait for you to meet them. Finally, the more we talk about going out, the more anxious I get to jump out the door. But at the same time, I wonder what it's like downtown and what I'll see. I'll take you to the inn and the bakery. I know the people there very well. They're actually the ones who've been preparing your meals. Oh, yeah, I'd like to thank them. That's really sweet of them. And they're on the same street, so there'll be no unnecessary detours on the way. So we're not taking a tour of the town? Show everything that the place has to offer? I say that half joking, but now my curiosity's peaking at this point. Take it slow, Kay. I want to see how you hold up first. Come on, let's head outside. Dude, doing this deep voice the whole time straight kills me. That is like as low as my register currently can go. I want it to go lower. I want to be able to actually do like a deeper voice, because I know women can produce voices that are like, I don't know, deeper. I just know that everyone can, you can push your limits. You can push your limits. I want to try to do, like, improve my, like, quote-unquote voice acting. And I'm saying quote-unquote because I'm like, I don't know, I don't think I'm good enough to call myself a voice actor. I'm just a girl. I'm just a girl in the world who's trying their best. What can I say? You know, so, but I'm trying, and that's what matters. Okay, anyways. After sneaking past the sleeping fox, we step outside the door and onto the bustling street. Agnar locks it behind us. It takes him a second, which gives me time to make a quick scan of our surroundings. I wish I hadn't. Just about every set of eyes is glued to me, and they don't dart away until we've made eye contact. One by one, and even then, I can feel them lock back on the moment I look away. It's what we expected, but that makes it no less unnerving. I can only hope that they'll lose interest sooner rather than later. We'll be making our way further into the village, down this street. He points in the opposite direction we went the other day, away from the village exit. The crowd will thicken as we go, so stay close to me. He begins with a slow pace down the street, looking over his shoulder to ensure I'm keeping up. This is both exciting and nerve-wracking. There's already so many eyes on me, and there's going to be even more. The bestial nature of the villagers' faces only makes it worse, as though they're feral animals stalking their prey. Bro, they're just real animals that are just curious? Can you not be the animalist, bro? That's crazy of you.
Why, they look like wild animals looking at me with their animal eyes.
Correct. I get the what's it called? The metaphor, the imagery we're trying to portray. It just makes it a little funny when they're actually animals, you know. But I also need to remember that the character was a human, so that is a more human-esque statement to make, but it's just funny when it's placed with animals. But Agnar's beside me. His imposing stature, hello, inspires a bit more courage in my gait. At least until I feel a chilling breeze wash down from the base of my tail to my butt crack. Because the hole needed for my tail, the wind has full access to my hindquarters. I shiver in horror as my thoughts are dominated by the mental image of everyone getting mooned by this window to my behind. It's literally not that big of a deal. The hole is like thumb-sized, right? It's not that big. You're fine. Drama king. My shirt's already been tucked in, and I have nothing else to cover it with. I grow more and more self-conscious. The streets continue to grow more and more crowded. I try to pull my pants up as far as they go, but no luck. It forces my pants line to stay uncomfortably low, rendering me defenseless. Out of desperation, I awkwardly use my hand to cover the hole. The wolf picks up on this and brings us to a stop. Are you alright? Yeah, I'm good. Are you sure about that? You keep fidgeting, and you're holding your back like you've strained it. I just feel a little exposed with the opening behind me. Is the outfit too big for you? No, not at all. It fits well enough. It's just the tail hole. I just can't help but feel like I'm flashing everyone. I'm afraid I can't do anything to help you with that. The hole's for your tail. And you can only try to get used to it. But you shouldn't worry what others think. It's completely normal for the base of the tail to show. And nobody gives it a second thought. I whip my head over my shoulder, and I'm certain I catch a peeping Tom in the act. It's just because you're a new arrival. But people come and go all the time. Their curiosity will wane before too long. I hope so. Let's keep moving. Focus on the path and try not to think about it. But I do think about it. And the more I do, the more I realize it really is just a me thing. No one is getting their tush oogled through their tail hole. T. With my nerves settling, I can see the only looks directed my way are of innocent curiosity. What about all these? I wonder if these are lights. These little crystal things. Bro, I thought they were like the Sims thing. There's no like little guy right there. My posture relaxes and I let my hand fall to the sides as I catch up with the big wolf. Oh, another part of the town. This is Cutie Pie. We continue on for a bit before the street opens up into a large space before us. The place is jam-packed with stalls, creating a labyrinth so dense that the surrounding buildings are obstructed from sight. This unexpected bazaar is literally packed shoulder to shoulder with deer. I don't know how anyone is meant to navigate it, let alone someone like Agnar. It's really crowded here. Hey, look how cute he looks. The Jack Market is quite something, isn't it? This plaza is usually empty, but during big festivals, it gets packed with all sorts of novelty stalls. The hunt is the village's best draw for foreign merchants, so both locals and travelers in all regions flock here to see what's in store. I can certainly see... Oh, that's me. I can certainly see that. With the crowd's enthusiasm, some stalls are so popular, I can't even see what's being sold. As we continue our trek, I peruse the various stalls. They have all manners of goods, much of it which I don't recognize. However, most of what I do seems like things you'd find at any antiquity store. The stalls with spices and teas are mostly crowded. One is practically drowning in customers. I can barely see past the crowd, but it looks like they're selling little boxes of white powder. Salt? That one over there seems quite popular. Oh, that's me. Damn. Sorry, he looked over and I thought it was me. What are they selling that's gotten everyone so riled up? Ah, they must be here for the pulver vex. That's my guess. It's hard to come by normally since our kingdom doesn't produce any. Foreign trade markets like this one are the only chance to stock up. Used to be that only nobles could afford it because it was rare and difficult to make, but nowadays it's enough for everyone, so the prices really come down. Must be pretty good if everyone wants it so badly. What is it? It's an ingredient used for baking. It makes dough swell and taste better. You see it a lot in cake recipes. Flour? No. Swell. Baking soda? Yeah! I'm a genius. Really? We have that too. We call it baking soda. I didn't think they'd have that here. If I recall correctly, baking soda isn't exactly easy to make. I guess they must be more advanced than I give them credit for. Hang on, if they got something as modern as baking soda, then maybe... Do any of these stalls sell coffee? Coffee? Yeah, like coffee or maybe chocolate? I have never heard of them, so probably not. Maybe we're just using different names again. They come from a big brown fruit with lots of little brown seeds inside. Does that sound familiar? My apologies, but I haven't seen or heard of such a thing. The lack of flushable toilets was one thing, but no caffeine, no crisp roasted aroma to greet you in the morning. What a cruel world. It's slow going as we make our way through the crowd, giving me plenty of time to scope out the goods. This portion that appears to be selling to outsiders, that's a snake. That is a whole snake. Sorry. That's not a that's a reaction because I hate snakes. I'm just not gonna look. If I just don't look, it'll make me feel better. One which is packed with countless jars of honey in all different shades of gold and brown. Some of them even have honeycomb inside. And there's this snake. I don't know why I'm so caught off guard. Yeah, he's got arms. Isn't that crazy? Bro's buff. What? I've seen plenty of different kinds of deer so far. I guess a snake with arms was just a bridge too far. And it's not just any snake, but a cobra. Its head is framed by a large hood that melts together into its neck. Trust, I'm not looking. Don't do that. I struggle to rein in my flight or fright impulse. Yes, it's a person, and I have no doubt they're as harmless as the rest of the crowd, but they don't have any legs. It's just an extra long, thick tail coiled up behind their stall. He, she, they are basking in the sun, enjoying a private, tranquil moment. I remember learning that that reptiles are drawn to the warmth. Something about them being cold-blooded, so they need to seek the sun and other warm things to remain active. Their clothing definitely doesn't match what the locals are wearing either, wearing golden bracelets and necklaces, and something in their hood that resembles ear cuffs. I looked up for a minute and I was upset. Anyways, their outfit makes them stand out both as wealthy and very foreign. I can't help but feel like I fit in a little better than this guy. How come they aren't How come they aren't getting any gawkers? Talk about double standard. Well, probably because they might have been here before, just selling at a different time rather than being some nerd walking around like a crazed, confused person. I'm pulled from my... No, he smiled at us. It's fine. I'm pulled from my spiteful regard by their tongue, flicking, paired with an almost hungry gaze. Unless he's flirting with me, I'm not sure what kind of hungry you're referring to. Oh, I thought he was wearing like a little tank top. No. You need this? Are you sure about that? Bro's just a snake. Well, no, in this game, probably not. Welcome, my good master. Come closer, come closer. Would there be a lisp, technically? His voice is masculine and coy. Oh, I didn't do that. Imagine I'm Silas right now. Oh, or, I don't know, like, what's a, like, hot man anime voice? Pick your favorite, like, hot anime man dub voice and go with that. Or sub, I don't really care. His tongue flicks in the air again, and I take half a step back. Some part of me expected him to bite sooner than speak. Don't be afraid, Zossar. Only wants to give its dear customers what they desire. Adjusting his posture with a long, mesmerizing undulation of his tail, he gestures broadly to his wares. I hadn't even noticed what he was selling on account of there being a Cobra Man. Behold, the finest silks from my homeland, Labram. A luxury beyond compare, as I'm sure your discerning eyes can tell you. I'm transfixed, eyes like saucers, until I notice there's no coffee in sight, and then I lose all interest. The fabrics are nice and all, but it's not exactly something that I need. The Cobra picks out a particular shiny bolt from his arsenal, unrolling the meter for me to examine. Now this would look most splendid on you, don't you agree? Oh, man, I didn't give him hot, sexy voice at all. Damn, my bad. I'll try again. I can't even answer his question. I'm too distracted by all the hissing. Does he have to do that on every single S? I thought that was just in cartoons. Who knew they were bang spot on with that stereotype? Yes. Only the best for you. This would fashion the most... I'm not doing that to everyone. This is ridiculous. Fantastic garment. How much will you be needing? I'm not sure. What would I even make with it? Another new shirt? But it does look really soft. And it's silk. I've never had silk before. Almost of its own volition, my hand gravitates towards the luxurious-looking fabric. The cobra's tongue flicks in anticipation. Only 190 kroner a paw. How much is a kroner? That's gotta be like pennies, right? We can afford that. Oh, girl, silk? Just before my hand connects, a large weight clamps down onto my shoulder and I nearly jump out of my skin. Oh, he's glaring at him. He's a scam artist for sure. Nerd, you got caught. The shock pulls me out of my trance and I reel my hand back as though the fabric were a real serpent. I look up to see whose hand is on me, and it's Agnar's. We're not buying. The cobra's eyes shift from the wolf as he puts away the silk, a mix of masked frustration as he feigns meekness painted on his face. He bows low and his head sinking farther down than most people could manage. My stall is open any day you wish to shine. Agnar leads me away, and the world has come back into focus. I glance back. Oh, he was using some snake thing on me to get me buy his stuff. He cheating. I glance back at the merchant's stall, but he doesn't look upset. He's already returned to bathing in the sun. Wow, he was certainly, different. I know you must be curious, but please stay close to me today. These merchants can be all too persuasive if you give them your time. I wasn't going to buy it. I don't even know what to do with silk. But you were still tempted. I saw how he was working you over, slowly luring you into buying it on a whim. It's a common tactic for their kind. You should also avoid talking to him again in the future. He won't stop pushing wares onto you, even after you've given in and bought something from him. Oh, look, we're somewhere else cutie now. Finally exiting the street crowded with people, we take a left down a short path and into an open street. Here we are, the Golden Hills Inn. Okay, so before we go into the Golden Hills Inn, I'm going to actually pause it there. Tea! That was so cutie pie. So I guess we're going to meet his little friends next time. But that's all I got this time. I'm kind of EP. It's like 2, almost 3 in the morning. So anyways, I hope you had so much fun. Maybe as much fun as I had. Maybe even more. And I'll see all you dudes in the next video. Bye!